I want to share with you why I feel so blessed to be a landlord. I wrote down 10 points and I'll just read them off. First one is that I provide for one of the most basic human needs, housing. You know, what better thing is there to do? You've got food, water, and housing. Problem is, too many landlords hear all the time from media and other sources that the landlords are the bad guys. They're the ones that are throwing little old ladies out in the snow just before Christmas. It's not true. I mean, we do fill a tremendous need. And it's so much better, for example, than, in my mind, than funding my family's needs by owning a liquor store, for example, which can do tremendous harm to some folks. Second thing I wrote down is you get to work with wonderful people. Now think about this for a second. Many businesses have to deal with every single person that comes in the door. McDonald's, for example. In our business, that's not true. Yes, we have to comply with federal, state, and local fair housing laws, and that's not a problem because you're just looking for folks who are going to be good stewards of the asset and do what they say they're going to do. Has nothing to do with their race, religion, marital status, sexual preference, or any of those things. And clearly, there's no reason not to comply. You just want to find folks that are honest and will do what they tell you they'll do. The third thing I wrote down is tenants will pay for your investments. I just don't know of any other situation where someone else will buy you an asset and you end up with it, and then it will pay you for the rest of your life. Think about this for a second. If you can figure out how to tie up a piece of property where the tenants pay for, and you may have to pay a down payment. I'm not saying nothing down, because I think nothing down many times means nothing left. You get wiped out. But if you just do nothing other than, as Peter Fortunato would say, breathe air for 25 or 30 years, once you've got your property set up that your tenants can fund the debt service and pay the expenses that it takes to maintain the property, that's just tremendous. If you just will not use your properties as an ATM machine and just have the deferred gratification to wait, you'll really be in good shape when you get ready to retire and either don't choose to do anything else or can't do anything else because of health. The fourth item that I wrote down is real estate equities and rents generally increase over time. And, you know, let's face it, real estate goes through the same cycles as the stock market and everything else, different timing. But in other words, real estate, the one thing we can say about predicting it is it will go up, down, and sideways. It won't always go up. However, if you tie up real estate through the value of amortization, just paying off the debt, even if the real estate goes down in value, the fact that someday you'll have it free and clear, your equity will increase. Secondly, rents will go up, and of course equities will also in a good market. But the nice thing about property business, the rental business, is that it really acts as a seesaw. During good times when everyone is buying, you can flog off the properties that no longer meet your economic needs. And during bad times when no one's buying, well, they're all renting, so rents go up. So either your rents are increasing or your property values are increasing, or in some cases both. Rental replace income from labor. You know, there's only two things that can create income. One is man at work, and the other is assets at work. And by having your assets work, your real estate work, it can buy you time and money to do other things. And if you really, if you have that time, you can really think about what it is important to you in life and really how you can lead a life of significance. So I think that's a big benefit. The sixth one I put is it's fun. And for me, it just is fun. The ability to negotiate deals, to buy properties, fix them up, problem solve. You know, when I was at the peak of my acquisition mode as an estate builder, I needed a fix periodically. And it was a heck of a lot better spending money buying houses than it would be buying doodads that sit on the shelf and don't earn me any return. In fact, they just have to be dusted and dealt with. So it really is fun. I think most people would find the stimulation of negotiating, buying, fixing, and problem solving is really a fun thing to be involved in. Number 7, no business overhead. Most businesses you get involved in, you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get set up. Just opening a restaurant's a big deal. To buy a franchise. I just can't think of any other business that you can get in that takes little or no capital. If you think about this for a second, you already own everything you need to get started pretty much. You have a cell phone, you have a car, you have a computer. You may need some vertical property management software to deal with your properties once you have a few, but you don't need a whole bunch of stuff. And in fact, if you say, yeah, but you've got to have a lot of money to buy properties, well, there is something called master leasing that we'll talk to in another video down the road, but you don't have to buy it initially. You could lease someone else's and sublease it and take a spread, and that works just very well also. The 8th item I put down was tax benefits. Everyone knows that real estate offers tremendous tax benefits, be it depreciation, all the various expense items. But, since the 2018 tax code's gone through, we only have more tax benefits. We have things like Section 199A. There's several new things that have come into play, but real estate really does have some good tax benefits. And unlike earned income, meaning from a job, it's not subject to self-employment tax, which that's 15% right there. So major benefits, really, tax benefits of owning real estate. The 9th item I wrote was never bored. And what I'm really getting at there is, man was made to work, made to use his mind. And if we don't, I think, well, putting it another way, I think being involved in making decisions and doing things in this regard really wards off dementia. And I think most of us all know people that have ended up with dementia. And the later it sets in, as far as I'm concerned, the better. I just think, real estate, you're not bored in this business. You don't do the same thing every day. Every day is different, unique. It's just wonderful. The 10th item, the last thing I wrote down, and it really applies to me right now today, is I say, you can't be forced to retire. And you think about that. I'm over 65. Many outfits, when you're 65, you're out. And then what do? All you've done is your work. You've really enjoyed work. And now you're told to sit down and sit home and watch sitcoms all day? Not going to work. You've got to have something that keeps you tuned into people, that you have that interface. And the wonderful thing about this business is if I live into my 90s and want to, I can interface with my tenants at that time. It's just too often as folks age, they become recluse. They are cut off from folks. And I think one of the wonderful things about this chosen profession is that you don't have to be cut off, and no one can tell you have to quit until you want to, if you want to. And I can't imagine wanting to at this point. I'm David Tilney. My wife Mary and I have taught other landlords how to enjoy the business for more than 25 years. If you go to my website, which is davidtilney.com, and I'll spell Tilney, it's TILNEY.com, davidtilney.com, you can see that we typically teach 1 or at most 2 3-day seminars a year. And I think the results that folks have, it just turns the whole thought process around, that it's not us landlords, you tenants. We're on the same team. We want the same things. They want to have a good house. I want them to make our house the best house on the street. You might want to go to our website and check it out. And hopefully I'll see you in a seminar real soon. Hopefully I've given you some ideas as to why this really is an absolutely outstanding business. I don't know what else I'd do if I wasn't a landlord. Thanks very much.